And guess what, Ellie?
What?
We
Are
are live. We are live. We are live. We are live.
Woo!
Let me get us started. That's us right there in the corner. We are live. We have an awesome show today. I have to actually let me copy the link here because I'm tweeting stuff out because tweeting is important for me to get the word out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, little one?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right, we have an absolutely awesome show today on That's Dalicious. I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy the show tonight. Let me click through this. Today, of course, is May 1st, May Day. It's gonna be May. You don't know that reference. It's NSYNC.
I do.
You do? All right, good. A special thank you to our Big Shot VIP, Jordon, who's been one of our supporters from the very beginning. If you want to be a Big Shot VIP, remember patreon.com/Dollar helps us pay for like lighting and mics and stuff. Again, special shout out to Velocilinks. I've been using their the mouse, the keyboard, the headset, everything they sent over is very cool. We're going to be talking to them in the next couple weeks here. But guess what? We have an awesome guest today. My friend, my idol, Miles Jones. That's him right there. Look at that. Look at that sly face. But look at the guy. Let me click this button here. Come on. Let me add him. I should probably know to add him to the stream. There he is right there. Mr. Miles Jones. How's it going, Miles?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Hey, it is awesome to have you, man. It's so good to get you on. I'm really excited to chat with you. You are our second international guest.
Okay.
Alex was on a couple weeks ago, so it's all good.
I saw some of those clips. That looked really fun too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm going to throw some of your links up here so people can see. Definitely check them out. Miles Jones, also Insta, MojoLibrary. We'll talk about all this stuff, but let's talk a little bit about who you are, and then we'll dive into the real meat of the reason I have you on here. So who is Miles Jones? Give me a quick origin story for the superhero Miles Jones.
The superhero, well, I mean, started out growing up in Toronto, sports lover, was really into playing sports and just being a big fan of sports as a kid. And my dad, as you know, is a DJ in Toronto, and he's one of the first guys to go live to air in clubs in Toronto. And he now lives in Vegas. He moved to Los Angeles, and also he does photography. So he was a real multimedia influence to me growing up. And I went to multimedia McMaster and took my multimedia degree there. And right around that time, or just before, music was the thing that took over from sports. And I started out as a DJ, which led to me rapping and writing my own rap songs. And then it started to become more musical from all aspects, like around different genres and DJing, production, composing, and sort of all aspects of music in all different genres. And now, I mean, this is me in a nutshell. Like if I put it into 1 minute, now I'm doing more music management, managing an artist by the name of Langston Francis, who's making waves in Canada and the US, and doing composing on a TV show called Kim's Convenience, which is on Netflix, and it's starting to get some traction worldwide. So yeah, it's been a ride, but from sports to music, back to sports to music, it seems to be the things that run my life.
No, man. I mean, first of all, I have a bunch of when I met you years ago, right? I met you years ago at a family event, funny enough. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I got to get to know Miles. Miles is awesome. I bought all the songs, all the albums, all over iTunes. I think you gave me a couple physical copies. I was like, I was in love, man. I'm a number one American fan, but no, it's always been inspiring to me to talk to you because our conversations are always, it's not just about music, or it's not just about I'm in design or just about sport. It's all that stuff, because everything sort of influences who we are, right? We'll bounce from topic to topic, but it flows really well because that's kind of where creativity comes from. Creativity isn't this, you're pigeonholed in a room with all the lights off and that's it. You obviously draw inspiration, like you're telling your origin story, from all over the place, right? From your your parents, music, sports, and everything. So it's awesome to hear that how that sort of developed in within you, I guess. So yeah. So
no doubt, no, definitely. I remember the first time we met in Detroit at a family function, and I think right away there was an instant connection with all
Yeah.
our life, all the things and interests we were into. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's full circle now, being able to talk about it, people to listen to it.
It really is. It really is. So we'll talk a little bit about music, and then I'll talk a little about this fun stuff here. So,
Okay.
musically, you've been you mentioned before. You know, you work on production on Kim's Convenience, which I've binged through on Netflix. I mean, I don't. There are moments in that show where I've never laughed so hard, but from your background, you know, from what you guys do with the audio, the music, how you kind of help tell stories. It's not just like actors, right? A lot of folks think of TV shows or whatever, it's just actors. No, there's like a whole audio side of things that's used to tell the story. I mean, obviously, you know, from the music production and everything you worked on, you know, music and audio is a storytelling medium.
100%. And I think for me, especially with the show in particular,
Mm-hmm.
it was an adjustment. I was used to being in studios, and I was used to working with artists, and I was used to being on stage, and I was used to making music, but I wasn't used to making music to picture. And
Mm.
I started writing commercials with my songwriting partner, Adam King. And the commercials started to become like I was flexing a new music muscle, and it felt challenging and it felt
Mm.
inspiring. And the commercials led us in to get this opportunity to sit in front of these TV execs when this new
Wow.
show got on for Kim's Convenience. And we had actually written a song, me and Adam together, Adam and myself, and it was called Marcus Stroman, right around the time the
I
Blue
love
Jays
it. I
were
love it.
the
Yep.
run 2015. And we wrote it for fun because I was like, man, the Jays are so hot. We got to do something like with this musically. And the way that the music supervisor tells me the story went was they were pitching all these different, I guess, musicians for who's going to write the theme song and who the composers were going to be. And none of the producers or writers were happy. And they put on this Marcus Stroman song, and everyone started like bopping their heads in the producer exec room. And they were like, where are these guys? We got to get them. We got the call from the bullpen into the Kim
Wow.
studio. That was history. So it's funny that Marcus pitching helped me get that gig on Kim's Convenience, and that's what inspired it. And and then yeah, just in terms of writing for film and TV, it's a whole different thing
Hmm.
than writing for artists and writing in a studio, because the picture's already there, so you're telling a
Yeah.
story to a story as
Hmm.
opposed to trying to create and illustrate the story out of thin air. So it's been challenging, but it's been really fun, and it's allowed for us to expand and get a lot more opportunities as composers in like the composer world, which was slightly different from what I was doing with production and songwriting and performing.
That's fantastic because like there are, you know, like you mentioned, it's like a different flexing a different type of musical muscle. What's it like? So you're working with like guys like Langston Francis, and the stuff is like, you know, to quote what my daughter says now, this 10-year-old, she's like, Dad, that's on point. Dad, that's on point. So I'm like, okay, you're way more hip than I am, little one. But like, so you go from like producing and you also in a way like do some mentoring for a lot of these artists too. I mean, not that I'm not saying like you're the old guy, you got all the experience, but you do have a lot of great experience and a lot of great ways to kind of not only help produce them, but kind of guide them a little bit. Now you've been doing that a lot with Langston, with the other guys. What's that aspect been like?
Well, it's funny, yeah, because I met Langston when he was 13 years old,
Hmm.
and he was this gifted musician that was running around this barbecue I met, playing his guitar, and but he also had this interesting business mind, and so it was like it turned from a mentorship
Mhm.
into a partnership. We started Humble Rock Stars, which is a record label that he came, sort of stemmed from him, that him and I started when he was 14 years old, and we were able to bridge that into meeting people at Sony
Sure.
Music, and
Sure.
that's we are working right now, and that's who's putting out all the records that we've been doing. And so it's been a really great experience,
Hmm.
from meeting Langston to creating Humble Rock Stars together, and then facilitating it through company like these multinational corporations like Sony Music,
Mhm.
and it was kind of like this inspiring process for me, who wanted to do all these things when I was actively touring and on the road and with my manager and trying to break into the music industry, which is much like the sports industry, a really tough
Sure.
industry to get into. And so it started as a mentorship, and it turned into a partnership, and eventually had me managing Langston Francis, and after Langston, a handful of other artists that I've met through Langston and through my management partner Johnny April.
Oh, awesome. That's amazing. Whether a shout out right there. There you go. Obviously we got friends and family that are logging on to watch right now. It's so cool. It's to me it's inspiring because for someone who works in like the design industry, creativity is such a big part of it, and you can be a real kind of singular person, but it really is a team effort to really kind of come up with cool projects and cool ideas and get your thoughts out. And so it's really inspiring to kind of hear that side of the musical industry.
Oh, for sure. And I think, with me meeting Langston when we did, and, I think I was 31 when I met and he was 13. And, I think people were like, this guy's crazy starting a company with a 13-year-old. And I was like, no, we just seem to speak the same language, and it's all through music.
That's
and awesome. It's turned into a friendship. It's turned into all these other things outside of just the music. But it's, I consider Langston like family, and a lot of the other artists that I manage and that I mentor the same. And it's through my experience with Langston and being able to work with him and mentor him, it's really given me confidence to be able to develop and be able to allow for me to add my skill set to these young artists that are trying to do what I was trying to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so cool. I mean, I
don't think it hurt that my mom's a teacher, my fiance is a teacher, my dad is in music, so I'm able to put all these things together and kind of, from all aspects, give my best to these young aspiring.
You're getting that teacher habit by osmosis by the folks around you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's awesome. I mean, I think, it's cool. Like, one of my goals is always in life is, you're only as good as the people that follow you, the people that take after you and take up that torch, So, I mean, it's early to think of Miles's legacy, but I think, you've already got a good, strong legacy going, and it's going to be really cool to see, future projects that you're putting out there. So, it's awesome, man. Really cool. So the music's awesome. Music's on point, as Eliana says. And so you've started you started doing this other thing with MojoLibrary on Instagram and other aspects. And this is something like it's really started to kind of come back in. And I'm talking about cards, the card game.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember, like, it was funny because I'm going to lean over here. I have about 4 or 5 years ago, I went and like cataloged just a bunch of, old, you can't see on camera, old cards, man. I have baseball, basketball.
19 hoops right at the front there.
You got it. And it's like stacks, baseball, basketball, hockey, football. I had like some X-Men cards. I don't know, crazy stuff. And I thought these are never going to be worth anything. And then I found my David Robinson rookie card. And I'm like, that's my gold right there. And so I started thinking, I'm like, cards, whatever happened to cards? And, hopping online, started seeing they were starting to get popular again for some reason. And I'm thinking, that's kind of cool. It's starting to get a little bit of popular, but it's not necessarily the old cards. It's the newer stuff. Like you mentioned to me, you're like, hey, if you come across these tops, can you grab the pack? So I got you. Don't worry. I got you covered. When we head over to Toronto this summer, I'm going to be dropping those off for you. Don't worry. I got a couple other packs here too. But explain while I open this pack, explain why you feel like cards have sort of kind of come back into
I mean, I think there's one of the main reasons I think it's coming back is because you got guys like Gary V online, and then all these, like, there he is, right?
There he is, my boy. Yep.
And you've been following him, and even like one of the musicians, Niall Sexton, that I'm managing and producing, he follows Gary V with his brother, and they're big fans of it. So it's not, I feel like he's an entrepreneur that connects to so many different subcultures and so many different people. And so, it's funny because I've collected cards way before I was doing music or anything professionally. I was collecting cards when I was like, I think my uncle Tony showed me cards when I was probably 5 years old. And then he showed me that they had value. There was a book that had, this is worth 60 cents. This is worth $1.
Yeah, and I remember those books. Wow. Yeah. Yep.
And they're the Beckett's, right? And I kept every single Beckett. I didn't throw them out. So I still have every single Beckett that I've ever
Wow,
bought.
really?
I could open up a store with the amount of Beckett's I have. And I started studying this. magazine when I was a kid like it was the Bible, because I was so fascinated that you could get something randomized in a pack, and you have the chances of getting, a player that you saw, and then on top of that, it's worth money. And so I remember the John Olerud 1990 Upper Deck. I remember my uncle showed it to me, and he's like, "This guy John Olerud, he's supposed to be a really great player for the
Oh
Jays.
man,
This,
yeah,
this
yep.
card here is $10." And I was like, "Well, the packs are only $1, and you can get a card in there that's worth $10. Well, if I buy 5 packs, I'm pretty
I got a
sure that
Vladdy right there for you.
my return on investment." Yeah. So I think that whole concept was like mind blowing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, I think my dad always thought I was going to go into sports management as a kid,
Oh,
because I that I knew every baseball player's average for the last 10 years. Like, much like Ellie, I was into all the I could quote everything. I studied it so hard. I wanted to be Ken Griffey Jr. And when I remember when Ken Griffey came in the league, right around the time
yeah.
I was collecting, and then Michael Jordan in basketball, and I was fascinated by these guys, because these guys were the guys that told you that your dreams could come true.
Yes.
And so it was like, oh, not so I get to collect something from these players about your dreams coming true. And also, I think I was just a collector by nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I became fascinated with the sport connecting to the subculture of card collecting, and it became really popular in the 90s. So I was hooked. I was hooked from, I got a job at my local sports store, Pro League Sports in Toronto,
Oh,
when I
cool.
was in grade 5. And I think I got a job sweeping the store or something, or making sure people didn't steal. And I spent all my money on packs when I got my paycheck in the store,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked there until I was like 22. So I worked there for like 10 years, and before I went, before I was finished college, that was my part-time job all the way through. And but I did, that's when I started going, veering into music, and I took a break from cards for about 10 years, from
Oh, wow.
2000 to
Okay.
2010 or 2012, around that time. And then I remember we were down in the States, and I went to Kmart, and I was like,
Kmart.
"Oh,
Wow.
Kmart!" And I bought a box of like football cards or something, and I
Mm-hmm.
opened it, and I was back. And so after
You
I
were
was
hooked.
back,
Yep.
I was
Hooked back
like,
in.
"Oh, I never thought," because I remember like when I was in my 20s, I was like, What was with me collecting all those cards? Like I spent so much money on cards. That was like really funny that I did that. Like now I'm all grown up. I'm way past that. That was for kids. And then here I
Nope.
am, in 2020, I'm the biggest kid ever with like, the card addiction on full, stomp. But it goes with record collecting. I have a crazy vinyl collection. I have a
Yeah.
crazy memorabilia collection, and there's so many parallels between sports and music. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
able to now embrace, like, okay, I'm able to collect the cards like I used to when I was a kid, but now I'm smarter about it, in the sense that if Gary Vee's making money as an
Mm-hmm.
investor, I'm like, okay, there's probably something into how we can actually, make money and collect, and it still be a fun hobby all
Mm-hmm.
in one. And I started getting back into it, I guess, and buying stuff on eBay, and revisiting those local hobby shops. And this was kind of like, cards they were kind of dead, I would say, in like 2000, for the 2000 to like
The early
2007
2000s.
or
Yeah.
12. Yeah, it was kind of gone. And
Mm-hmm.
then guys like Mike Trout came into the league, and Bryce Harper in baseball, and LeBron James had been there, and so no one was really paying attention. But now LeBron James cards are going crazy, and it's like different. I don't know if it's the fact that everyone's at home now, or more people are on the internet, or
Actually, yeah.
but all these or we can't watch sports, but all these factors have now created into this crazy card like hype that I've never seen before, and it's trading like it's the stock market now.
It really is. Unbelievable. And I think part of it is the fact that you do get these, more often than not now, you'll get those special cards in the pack, and people are thinking,
Yeah,
"Oh, I gotta find out, with like if I can get those cards," because you didn't get those back in the 80s, 90s, and in the early 2000s.
that's
At least
right.
not to
Well,
this level. Definitely not to this level.
not to that level. Insert cards were a thing in the early 90s. You could get
Yeah.
insert sub cards. But what happened is the card companies got savvy. They stopped producing as many copies of
Oh,
them, started serial numbering them, and make so it'll be like LeBron James numbered to 50. So if there's only
okay.
50 of the LeBrons, now suddenly it's like collecting art, or collecting something that not many people have. So they started figuring out a way, I
Interesting.
guess, to corner the market into creating this neat, or I guess recreating this niche subculture, where
Hmm.
it's like you have these companies like Topps and Panini. Panini is known for like stickers, but Panini does like basketball cards, and they just it's back. It's like it's 1991 again when you go on like looking up cards. I mean, it could be like I said, there's the Netflix series with Michael Jordan, The Last Dance. That's bringing
Yeah,
so much
yeah. Oh God,
hype
it's so
around.
good.
The Michael Jordan memorabilia is like off the chain right now.
Hmm.
So for me, it was one of these things that I found fascinating, and I also just enjoyed it. It was a fun hobby. Aside from any making money or investing this or that, which I'm always finding interesting, it was a good thing to keep my brain active and really, really kind of keep me on my toes and inspire me to do all the other things when I'm not doing music.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because you mentioned there's like a lot of parallels between sports and music. I mean, the hustle, right? You have to work hard to be great and to get noticed and to get there, right? There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. That's something that's always inspired me and always fascinated me about musicians, comedians as well, and athletes. It is a lot of it's not just pure talent, right? It's you're out there, you're pushing yourself more than anybody else out there. And if you see somebody doing well, that inspires you to go out there and try to do even better, And that's, I think,
100%.
yeah, 100%. So there's a lot of cool stuff. I'm gonna be like looking through all my cards. I don't know if I got anything well. I didn't get anybody from the Tigers in this pack, so I'm gonna have to go buy another one. We'll go from there.
So
But it's
what Topps started doing is Topps is the big baseball
yeah.
card manufacturer, and they were never really good at marketing their stuff. It was always like you had to go to the store to do it. But they
Mhm.
fixed up their website, and I guess they got some good creators and developers, and started to work in this new environment and become hip and savvy with it. And so they started doing Topps on demand, where you could go and they would do a drop for 24
Mm.
hours and you can get a card. And sometimes the card's super rare, like this Mike Trout. I don't know if you can see it,
Yeah.
autograph, and it's numbered to 50 or something.
Wow.
So they do a drop, and I think this card's worth somewhere around, I don't know, $600 US or something.
That's insane.
And there's actually people that will pay for it. That I get active offers, especially on cards that are high end, because
Mhm.
it's one thing to collect cards for the fun of it and dollar cards, or you're going to Kmart and buying some boxes, or Walmart or Target. But the high end cards got all these guys like Gary V
Yep.
involved, and so it's like you're seeing there it is again, the Gary
Yep.
V set, and guys are trading sets. And now Topps is doing a thing called the 2020 project, where they teamed
Mm.
up with 20 of the coolest artists from America and across North. I'm pretty sure that even some outside of North America,
Mm.
but uh, they're recreating 20 of the most iconic rookies with these 20 artists that are all on
Oh wow.
Instagram doing all their art, like Banksy style
Mhm.
street. Some are digital artists, some are painters, some are artists from every different like genre you can think of, and now they're all recreating these Topps cards and promoting them on their site. And so you're seeing like the way that these cards could be reimagined, like for instance, like a Mike Trout rookie or a Ken Griffey Jr.
Sure.
rookie, and it has all these really cool designs, and it looks like something you could hang on your wall. So Top started doing all these cool things for every type of collector, and what you're from every sort of aspect of what you're
Mm.
interested in. And it's now really kind of expanded the market from just that niche subculture of like it being for old men and for just people watching stats or something like that. It's like the kids are now back into it, and it looks fun, and it's people are trading stuff. And then all the people that still have their old cards,
Your old cards.
all the cards you think aren't worth anything, now they're actually starting to become worth something because
Oh,
of
are they really?
because
That's starting to move back up again. Okay.
because that what they called the junk wax era, which was the
Sure.
90s.
Yeah.
Everyone threw them out. So now they're not in high demand, or they're in high demand because the supply's gone,
Hmm.
and or they're really in bad shape, and no one has, PSA 10, which would be a graded card. Let me see if I can pull
Oh
up
man,
a
the
graded
grading
card.
those cards is insane. I mean,
So
yeah, looking at that right there. I mean, it's like a meticulous storage system you have going on there.
yeah, so it's I don't
Wow.
know how you can see it, but it'll
Yep.
show a serial number,
Oh, okay, their
and
serial
the
number.
grade, like the number
Do you send
10
them
or
out to get graded, or do they have places locally?
so you can send them in America. It's easy because like all the grading companies are
Yeah,
there. PSA, and there's another one called Beckett, obviously the one that does
check it.
the magazines. and another one called SGC. And there's a couple other ones that are, trying to break their way in. But PSA's been around for authenticating things, I think, forever, as long as I can remember. And they started, though, they were the ones that would authenticate autographs. If someone,
Oh,
not
okay.
just
All right.
autographs in sports, autographs in anything, and like if it was Tom Hanks or Jack Nicholson's autograph or something. So from actors to anyone in entertainment, these companies, JSA and PSA, would be authenticating them. And then now it's like it seems to be strictly like the places that you send to get your cards done. For me, I tend to buy the card when it's already graded. So then because I don't like to mail it away. I always get a little bit paranoid.
Sure.
Damaged. And if I do mail it away, I'll give it to an aggregate company who will just mail away like a handful of mine with theirs, because they're doing so many.
That's good.
So there's different ways to go about it, but also what grading did, it safely allowed for people to know what they were buying online.
That's fantastic.
So you couldn't buy something that was damaged when it said it's in a case, and you can't take it out of this case. It's stuck in there.
It's there forever.
It's there in this case forever. I can't take this back. Well, I think there are ways. Guys say you can crack them if you don't get the grade you want and get it regraded. But not something I would try. But yeah, it's supposed to be in there forever, and if it's sealed in that case, then it is what that grade is, and you know exactly what you're getting. So
they're heavy duty cases too. I mean, they're not only are they like sturdy, but they're meant to they protect from UV lighting, all that kind of stuff. So
that's right, and all the high end and standard card protection companies. I think it's Ultra Pro is the main one. That has the little hard plastics in the sleeves. It's all UV coated. Because when I go back and I look at my cards from the 90s, some of the plastics are all yellow, and like the cards could be and you're like, man, there were so many other companies doing this back then that didn't even know what they were doing to keep the cards safe and to store them and all that stuff. So there's a whole aspect. But I think Gary Vee's right when he said cards are very small. It's like if you have a sneaker addiction, you better have a big house or a big garage to put all your sneakers in. I mean, cards can fit in boxes, and
they can fit in this. Here we go. That's my old trap keeper from the the 90s, and it works. That's awesome, man. So you show a lot of your stuff. Oh, there, yeah. You show a lot of your stuff over on MojoLibrary on your Insta page, right? I'm looking at all the cool ones on there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Oh wow, there it is right there. Yeah, just stacks.
Just trying to. Some of it's sealed. Some of it I'll keep sealed.
Sure.
Some of it's open. But baseball, basketball, and then I'll have the protection sleeve right there ready to put stuff in, packs and stuff I've got from Tops and stuff like that. So, but yeah, everyone collects sort of what they love. So the whole mantra of the hobby is, who do you collect?
That's awesome. Yeah, who do you collect? Yeah, you'll tend to go for those players or those even the companies and stuff, or the style. I mean, it's like in a weird way, it's like living Pokemon, I guess, for like the kids grew up and they would collect Pokemon like crazy, just digitally. And then obviously there's Pokemon cards and stuff like that too. But you start the collection bug, and I was big into comics, right? And I still buy comics every once in a while, physical comics. They don't make them as much as they used to, and I get when I'm reading stuff, I'll buy the graphic novel or whatever, but I still find myself buying comics. I have my boxes of old comics, and I'm convinced that because things are starting to a lot of stuff goes digital, that physical stuff becomes popular again. You mentioned vinyl, and I still have some. When I started getting into DJing back in like the early 2000s, I thought, let me start with vinyl, and then I realized, wow, vinyl it's magical. The sound quality, the feel, the smell, the taste. Obviously, you don't want to taste your cards, but there's something kind of cool about that.
100%. Like I know those 90 hoops cards you had in your binder there, because I know the smell of those packs.
Yes.
When you open it up, they have a distinct smell, and the cards have a smell, and you used to get gum in the cards. Now they don't do that.
They don't do that, obviously.
And they used to have the ways you could open the card from the back, like a wax pack, and that would have the gum in it. But now cards are sealed up a certain way, and the companies are all very savvy with how they're distributed. And I think they've created this real market, and it's really enticing, as you said, for especially kids of that were born, recently, or kids that were born after 2000, even that are still young. Having a tangible physical thing is something that's kind of foreign to them, and so it's like, oh my God, I can get like a LeBron James that I can hold and I can keep this, and it's worth money, and I can, and I can trade it, or I can, buy trade it and buy something of greater value, or trade it with, and get something better for it. And even in the video games, I know like NBA 2K, you're trading cards, or you're getting cards that you can play with the guys in the game. So it's created this sort of, it's a little bit mysterious in the sense that you don't know what you're going to get. I bought a pack of Optic, that basketball company card I was telling you, and I pulled a LeBron James that's numbered to 10. And it's I didn't realize what it was at the time. Someone's posted there's only 10 in the world printed. I've only seen 2 surface, mine and someone else's. And they have it on eBay for $10,000 right now.
Wow. So, and it was just a card that you pulled. You're like, oh, I wonder what this is. That is insane. And that's the
card I pulled in a pack.
Exactly. And that's what draws people to these, to these packs. So amazing stuff. I mean, you guys got me back onto it. Like I said, I looked at my old pack and I thought I think I'm going to start collecting again. And like you said, it's smaller than having like shoes. I rated the sneakers app and StockX far too much. So this will be a lot better for me. But
so you're collecting sneakers too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, Christina knows it. I put the kibosh a little bit only because we were moving, thankfully. So I stopped all the way up until we sold the house back in June. I was buying sneakers all the time. And then I'm like, okay, I got to stop because I have to store everything, and I can't fit everything in my parents' house and stuff when we were staying. So I thought, let me hold off a little bit, and I think I'm gonna get back on that pretty soon here. So, yep.
Did you wear them as well, or
some of them I do? Some of them I do wear. You know what? I wear the ones that are not like rare, but I'll wear like really cool, unique shoes to the office. So I'm the shoe guy at the office now. Like, I get it. It's always fun when you take a picture of your shoes and then all of a sudden like Adidas or someone will say, hey, can we put your photo up on our Instagram page? Like, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah. There you go. You have your Ken Griffey sneakers from grade 5. So it's all good there.
I definitely still have those at my mom's house. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Miles, thank you so much for being on tonight. This is awesome. What links, what info do you want to drop for people to take a look at?
Well, if you want to find my my Instagram, that's not cards. This one's MojoLibrary here. Yep. You can look up Runaway J on Instagram, and definitely give Langston Francis a follow on Twitter to follow all his music. And Langston's got a new song coming out at the end of May this month, so that's super exciting for us. And,
cool.
And keep watching Kim's Convenience, the TV show on Netflix. Yeah.
So funny. It's so funny. It's so good. Well, Miles, thank you again. We'll see you soon. We'll see you this summer for sure. We'll make it up there.
For sure. Miss you guys.
Stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll catch up soon, man.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Well, that was awesome. Very cool to have Mr. Miles on. She calls him Mr. Miles. So awesome to have him on. A lot of shout outs from family. Everybody, Christian, Christy, Daniela, Kristen. Everybody was like hopping in and say hi. Say hi to everybody. So we thank you guys for watching. It's always fun to have really cool guests. Wow, your hair is growing like crazy. She used to have bangs. Like 2 weeks ago, she had bangs, and now it's like off to the side. You aged like 10 years in 2 weeks. It's crazy. But you know what? We got to finish up the show because we've been going for a half hour. I know. So with that, let me go to this thingy right here. Let me do my little face in there.
For almost an hour?
No. I was recording for the last half hour when you ran off for the most of the show. Now it's time for Eliana's joke of the day. Hold on. Wait. Let me get out of the way. And you can tell your joke.
Dad, your glass of juice is empty. Do you want another one?
Why would I want 2 empty glasses?
This has been a joke.
Wait. This has been
joke of the day.
Eliana's joke of the day. And this has been That's Delicious.
Because unfortunately you don't have a Macklish word.
I don't have a Macklish word today. That's all right. I'll come up with a new one. But thank you everybody for watching us. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember, we're normally Sunday through Wednesdays unless we have special guests like we did tonight. And we thank everybody for watching. And we'll see you soon. We love you guys. And remember, anger goes away, sadness goes away, but love, let me see a love shape. Love is always there. Love lasts forever. So love everybody. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye.